Alright, so today I'm going to be working on the 2012 Ford Fusion again. And what I'm going to be doing is replacing the PCM computer in this car. This is what the PCM computer brain looks like once it's been removed from the vehicle. I've already tried replacing it with these two here from the junkyard. They're faulty, just like the one that is in here now. And these faulty computer brains might be why those other Ford Fusions are in the junkyard. I ordered this one on eBay, and the guy that sells these claims that he tests each and every one of these. They're guaranteed to work, and it's warranted. So if it doesn't work, obviously you can send it back and get another one, or send it back and get my money back. So we're gonna try this thing out, and what we're gonna use is this Altel. This thing is a pretty nice mechanic diagnostic tool. Can do all kinds of things. And this plugs into your OBD. It's Bluetooth to this tablet here. And with this thing, you can do all kinds of troubleshooting, all kinds of diagnostics on this, as well as reprogramming things like the wireless keys for your car, resetting all kinds of data, as well as programming a new computer. So this is going to plug in down here, and it's going to beep. Begin. Okay. Check engine lights there because I was obviously reading a fault with the PCM. And now we're gonna beat this thing up. It was in here. This is going to read the car and read the VIN number, and I don't know why it says a V4, it's a V6, but it is a 3-liter. It's interesting. No navigation. Sometimes this takes a while to load. Set my seat back a little bit. Now. That's the car talking to us, letting us know that we're reading its system data. Yes, Ford Fusion, we know. Alright, programmable module installation or parameters. Now, PCM, this is what we're working with right here. So basically what I need to do is I need to extract the data stored on the stock PCM that's in the vehicle currently that is not working properly. And it's going to pull that data onto this tablet. Once it's done that, it's going to have me install that other PCM computer brain into the vehicle, hook everything back up, and then I'm going to proceed with the steps on this tablet to upload the data onto the one I put in it and set it up and get it all ready to go to work in this car. This kind of tells you the procedure. Yes. Let's turn the ignition switch off. Okay, install new module. Okay, in order to simplify this video and speed things up, I've already loosened the battery connections. I've already obviously took all the bolts out for the battery tray, and the PCM is not bolted in, but it is in place and plugged in. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the battery tray, unplug the PCM, pull it out, and put that one in. And so here we go. And be careful not to get shocked, because this is, you know, obviously a battery. I like to grab it down low. Just kind of tuck it away. Make sure it don't bump that terminal, it'll start sparking on you. There's the battery and the battery tray. And this right here is your PCM, and this has a clip right there, and we're going to pull this out of the way around that bracket. Now these clips are pretty simple to unplug. This plastic clip, you release it and unplugs. There are 3 plugs, and don't worry, they only plug in one way. You can't plug these in the wrong order, because the one that plugs into the top is the only one long enough to plug into the top, and the second one is just barely long enough to plug into the second plug, and then the third plug is a smaller size than the other 2. So like I said, it is impossible to plug these in the wrong order. What's important is that you get them plugged completely back in. Now, if you don't have these screws out already, there'll be one at the top on the reverse end of this, way down here. Very difficult, and is really a pain in the ass to get to. What I recommend is a ratcheting wrench to get that. It is almost impossible to get a socket down in there, so a ratcheting wrench is your best bet. It'll only be, you know, a couple clicks at a time, but you will get it out. It'll just take some time. Now this just comes out. And there it is. original PCM. Set this to the side. Grab this one. Twist and turn and wiggle. Get this go in place. I might need both hands here. Sometimes these pigtails get in your way because you can't really, it's hard to get them pushed back out of the way. Obvious reasons, it's a very tight space. Because Ford doesn't like to give you any room to do anything. Okay. There it is. Now, I'll just finger thread this one in just to, basically just to hold it in place. Not that it's gonna go anywhere. You saw how tight that fit back in there, but you know. Very good. Now when plugging these back in, start with the bottom one and work your way up. Otherwise you will never get your hand down there to reach that bottom plug. This can be a little difficult to get back in because it won't allow you to plug it in wrong. It has to fit in perfectly or it just won't go in. There it is. And you flip that lock and that's it. Now we'll move on to the second one. Now you can see if I grab this bottom second one, it will not reach that plug at the top. So like I said, it'll only go back in the way it came off. Once you get that one in, flip that lock. That one's plugged in. And then last, we'll get this top one. Get it plugged in. There it is, in and plugged in. Now, I have this battery wire back to where it's supposed to be. Hole right here, this clip goes in. Now, put this battery tray back in. Right there. Now the battery. Takes a little heavy to put in with one hand. Got a little couple notches in that tray. It's got to sit down in. Push that one on. And like I said, be careful not to get shocked. You see, headlights just came on. You'll hear the dash beep and stuff. I use this little rubber to push it on without getting shocked. All right, all back together. Let's see what we got. All right, Still a new module in the vehicle. Already did. Set the ignition switch to on. So, on. I'll turn that radio off. It's kind of going a little haywire because I just unplugged the battery. All right, ignition switch is on. Ensure the vehicle battery is in good condition. All accessories are turned off. Close this door. So let's go out. Yep. All right. Everything is turned off. Okay. We're gonna hit OK. Now, let's see if this thing will fire up. Because before, if we put a PCM in there that wasn't programmed, it would not allow you to start the vehicle. And no. That right there, see that flashing light? It's an anti-theft system. Okay, so now that I've put the new PCM in, programmed it, I now have to clear all the diagnostic trouble codes and have to reset the anti-theft, which you'll see right there. So we're going to go into Diagnostics. We're just going to go to auto scan, and this is going to scan everything. And PCM faults 2. One of those faults is going to be the anti-theft. Another fault is going to be that it's not the key and everything. It's not synchronized to the car yet. Same with this instrument panel thing. It's going to come up with a couple faults because not everything is fully set up yet. Now this smart junction box fault is a tire pressure sensor that is out. I'm already aware of that, so I'm going to ignore it for now. And I've already erased this, but I'm going to go ahead and just clear them all again. And these 3 are going to continue to be there because they haven't been fixed yet. I'm going to just kind of show you. Alright, so now all these are cleared. And I have these 2 faults here. Alright. And like I said, this one here is most likely a tire pressure sensor because I've already checked that out. And if you click it here, I can read the code. Otherwise it takes a minute to establish connection, but once it gets going, it does all kinds of goofy stuff. And there it is, tire pressure sensor fault. And if I click this here, it kind of tells you a little bit. But like I said, I'm already aware of that. I already know. Now if we go to this one here, otherwise it takes a minute to establish connection, but once it gets going, it does all kinds of goofy stuff. And there it is, tire pressure sensor fault. And if I click this here, it kind of tells you a little bit. But like I said, I'm already aware of that. I already know. Now if we go to this one here, and we'll read these 2 faults. And I already know that it's in one of these 2, the security and stuff hasn't been reset. The key hasn't been synced and paired with the PCM. So we're going to exit. What I want. Now here we're going to go to the hot functions. And now we're going to select this option here, and right here, PATS, Passive Anti-Theft System. There's also factory keyless entry, remote keyless entry, and yeah. Anyway, we're gonna go in here. And now we're going to reset the anti-theft. Procedure will take up to 10 minutes. Alright, I'll come back when this is done. Alright, now that's complete. Security access granted. Now, what I can do is program the key. Now we're going to program the key. Not programmed, not synchronized. I'm gonna erase them all. So press the unlock button. Let's figure out which one of these is. Hold on. Okay. So this vehicle can have up to 8 keys, I think. So what I've done is I've erased all of these, and these are the 2 keys I have, and as you can see, they are synchronized. So now that portion is finished. Alright, now go after gain access to the anti-theft. I need to reset parameters. When a new PCM module, powertrain control module, or PATS, this module is installed, or program this function. Also resets keep alive memory. Successful. Module is now reset. Let's see. Turn the ignition off, then on. Perform the PATS passive anti-theft system functionality before cycling the key, as it may lose security. Okay. Off, then on. Alright, now with that, I have replaced the PCM, programmed it, I've cleared all trouble codes, I reset the PATS, which is the passive anti-theft system, I reset the parameters for the keys, and have the key programmed to the car. With that, turn the ignition off. Now exit out. Alright. Yes, I know. Now, the moment we've been all waiting for. The moment of truth. Alright. And here we go. There she is. No engine codes. It is now running. New PCM installed. Okay, now, as long as this thing doesn't start misfiring again, everything should be good. PCM seems to be working. No engine codes yet, so I'll drive it around for a while, see if any engine codes pop, and go from there. Okay, so now I need to do what they call a full drive cycle. It's part of the diagnostic testing to make sure everything's working properly. So I'm going to go in here and go to powertrain. And right here, the OBD onboard diagnostic test mode and drive cycle. Now it's going to tell me to turn the ignition switch to on. All right, and this pretty much tells you the procedure, yada yada. It's pretty much telling you to pay attention to the road while you're doing this. Do not switch the ignition off while performing the drive cycle. Let's say okay. Start the engine and crank for 5 seconds. Do not press the throttle pedal. Okay, now we have monitor status and comprehensive drive cycle. We're going to do a comprehensive drive cycle. Long list of different things to do. Okay, here we go. Alright, we're doing the drive test. And as you can see on here, as I go, it's completing certain tasks I have to complete during this drive task. It is telling me what I still have left to complete in this drive test. So it's going to be about a 30-minute drive test going through and completing all these checks. Alright, I just finished driving around the block a couple times. Seems to be running fine, running smooth. Pop the hood. Purring like she should. Idle sounds fine. Alright, so this PCM is working. No misfire so far. PCM right there. It's responsible for the electrical wiring that go to these coil packs on all 6 cylinders. It's also responsible for the fuel injectors for all 6 cylinders. And I believe the spark plugs as well. Well, that's for the coil packs. But yeah, the PCM is responsible for all of that. And the old PCM, it was bad. It was fouling out. And because of that, it was not firing on all the cylinders like it should. So that's why this PCM had to be replaced. Now that I got that one in there and programmed and set up, it's running nice. It's running good again. So if you have a 2012 Ford Fusion and you're having a misfire in any of the cylinders, and you've checked all of your coil packs and they're fine, you've checked all your fuel injectors and they're fine, you've checked all your spark plugs and those are fine, and your pigtails and your wiring harness and everything is fine, then it's a guaranteed bet that it's that PCM computer brain. Just remember, those computer brains, they have components inside of that computer brain that will go out. Fords are notorious for that. But anytime you're working on a vehicle, you're having an issue, it's a good thing to just kind of go online, do some research, and find out what each specific vehicle is notorious for. So you'll know what vehicle are notorious for having what kinds of specific issues. This car, obviously, PCM is a notorious issue on this thing. So that will conclude this video. This project is finally done. Now, in order to do this, you will need a something more than just an OBD reader. What I'm using here, this thing didn't, $1,300 computer, and it didn't come with a manual. So I made my own manual here. Okay. But they do have, their website does have a PDF file you can download, and that's where I downloaded this and printed it out. But what I used is this Altel. It's an MK906BT. It is an advanced mechanics diagnostic tool. It allows you to do all kinds of diagnostic tests and programming for this kind of work. And like I said, it is an expensive tool, but it is cheaper than paying a dealership or a mechanic shop to do this work, if you know how to use this equipment and fix this stuff yourself. So, peace out.